kind of dark. Ta-da! Oh my gosh, my hair's a bird's nest. How are you guys doing? Nice to see you guys. Thank you for coming again. I'm really excited to be talking about this topic. You know, 'tis the time of year to talk about things around Christmas and the holidays and what that means in different countries. I've mentioned in some previous videos that I'm back in the States, and I'm really happy to be back just with my family and with in a life that is like really familiar and natural to me. But I have spent a holiday season in Japan, and I want to talk a little bit about that and what it's like to experience the Christmas time in Japan. But before we get into the topic of things, sorry if I feel like I don't know where to look. So before we get too into it, I want to do a couple of announcements. So the first one is that I do have a new channel, yes. So this channel is called Deidre the Diva, but the title will be changing very soon. The new title is A Geisha's Way, and I'll leave the link below, so please subscribe to that new channel. I already have the first few videos uploaded. I wanted to do them all at once, so I recorded them, I'm editing them, and I'm going to be posting them. So get ready, because they're coming, and you don't want to miss out. So I will post it below at the end of this video, so just hang tight. And for those of you who have already subscribed, thank you so much. Those videos are recorded already. It's just a matter of posting them, and you guys are, I feel like you guys are going to really like it. You guys are really going to like it. But yes, as I mentioned in some previous videos as well, this channel will still exist. So there will still be plenty of goodies around Japan. Hello, Carly. There's still going to be a lot of goodies about Japan on this channel. So still stay tuned and you guys will see so much more. Hey, Nia. I'm doing well. I'm doing really well this morning. You know, I'm up in my attic. Still don't have a place to record, which is a little frustrating, but that's okay. We'll make do. We'll make do. Okay, and last, before I get started on this actual topic, is that I do have a Patreon for those of you who want to support. And I do have a giveaway planned very soon, a 50K giveaway. And you guys know I'm like right next to a Japantown, so that is no issue as far as getting Japanese materials. But I am planning a giveaway in the very near future. So if you guys don't mind, I would so appreciate if you guys could go to my Patreon. I'll link that below as well. And every little bit helps. It really does. All right, so let's get into it. Okay, Christmas in Japan. So before I talk about what Christmas is, I want to talk about what Christmas isn't. All right, and what it isn't is a national holiday. In Japan, they don't see it the way that they do in the States, as in like people get time off work and people get time off school, and you know, things are like handled in such a way that it's like the whole country recognizes it. Like, no, it's not like that. However, on Christmas Day, most people don't work anyway, and most people don't go to school. And the reason why is that the day before Christmas Eve, the 23rd, is the emperor's birthday. And that's a big deal. And that's a national holiday. And the first of the year, so January 1st, 2020, is also like huge in Japanese culture, the new year. So usually all of that time in between is off. So that Christmas kind of falls under that. So that's more so why. So that's a detail first. Next is that there is like no religious association as far as Christmas in Japan. As far as the population goes, what is it? Less than 1% of the population is Christian. So naturally, you don't see a lot of like Christmas carols, especially ones that are like "Hark the Angels Sing" and like types of like Christian / Catholic, Christian denomination, Judeo-Christian beliefs. Like they don't really celebrate it that way. Christmas is more so just about the decor, and it's seen as one of those like sparkly holidays like Halloween. It's not seen as something that has a spiritual significance. There are also like no churches that celebrate like big Christmas things. My family's Catholic, and every Christmas Eve we go to Mass. But in Japan, you won't see that kind of thing. Also, yeah, like I mentioned, there's no Christmas carols. And it's weird. There's no real big family gatherings either. You know how Christmas time, there's a lot of time off work that people take. People travel to go see family, and a lot of family reunions happen around this time. There's like tons of like rom-com movies about meeting like your high school sweetheart because you travel back to your hometown and you saw him at, I don't know. Like there's a lot of situations like that as far as meeting people that you have a history with, as far as like family and old friends and things like that. But in Japan, it's not that way either. Okay, so now that I got all that out of the way, you know kind of what Japan doesn't think of Christmas. And now I'll get to that. I see your comment. Just hold on. What it is, it's a couples holiday. Christmas is very love oriented. Christmas is seen as a holiday for lovers and people who are in relationships. People take vacations together, not to visit family, but to go on like kind of a vacation, like Baecation, like vacation. People do that a lot. People go to love hotels. People just go to a lot of coupley things during Christmas time. Yeah, honestly, it seems kind of cute. Like, I didn't have a significant other at that time, but I saw a lot of couples that were a lot bolder around Christmas. And I think it's one of those holidays like Valentine's Day where it's like socially acceptable to be like flashy and very showy with your PDA and things like that. Like, Christmas is one of those holidays too in Japan, right? This is so weird. And I have like so many flyaways. What is this? Okay. All right. So, as far as gift giving, it's not a popular thing to do in Japan. People do give gifts, but it's not something that most families don't have like a tree in their house that they put Christmas gifts under and they exchange gifts. They don't really have that culture in Japan. And if people do give gifts, it's probably more to like coworkers and things like that. But people, or maybe like your lover, if you have like a boyfriend, girlfriend. But yeah, I think it's more of that than anything. I wanted to talk a little bit about fried chicken. Fried chicken. For those of you who have maybe a little more knowledge about Japan than your average Joe, you might know that Japan is like obsessed with fried chicken at Christmas. And I wanted to give you all a little history lesson about it. So basically, there was this ad that went on in the year 1974. 1974, the good old 70s, around Christmas time. It was Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. Yes, they have it in Japan too. Very popular. And they had like this commercial. I don't know what it was about the commercial, but the commercial went viral. And people were obsessed with fried chicken. And it kind of became synonymous with Christmas time. The promotion like slogan was Kentucky for Christmas, or Christmas wa Kentucky. And that was like their big slogan for the Christmas time. And they were selling like Christmas packages of chicken, and now it's like a regular thing. Like people, and it's not even like people go to like Popeyes. There's no Popeyes in Japan, but it's not like people go to other like fried chicken vendors. People only go to KFC. Only KFC. And KFC, they handle their business. They handle their business, I'm telling you. They promote, like, they don't joke. Okay. So before I get to this next point, I want to read some of these comments. I see you guys' comments and I want to say hi. Let me take a sip of my juice. And I want to read some of these. Let's see. NJPW girl says hi. Hi. Just says hey, hey. Wolfcore Animation says hello, hello. Took me a while to read your font. I was like, whoa, is this English? I'm like, wait, hold on. It's just curly font. Let's see. Michaela Brown says hello, everyone. Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Yeah, Japan is, we have a lot of like random highlights about the culture that you wouldn't expect unless you learned about it. And when I was in Japan that first year, there was so much that I was just like watching from afar, and I was like, oh, all right. And it took me a while. It took me a while to actually learn about it, like what it was that I had seen, and then like kind of processing that and being like, oh, okay, I see now. And I'm sharing it with all of you. So for those of you who are interested in potentially going to Japan in the future, or maybe you have like a Japanese friend and I don't know if, I don't have a lot of Japanese friends here in the States, but I don't know. Even in college during Christmas time, my Japanese friends didn't like buy fried chicken or anything. That's weird. I think it's just like a country thing. But yeah. Let's see. Continuing on. Carly says that sounds so nice. Yeah, honestly, it'd be nice if America was kind of like that in the sense of having like couple and yeah, like especially with the time off, like that is so awesome. And I know that in America, because obviously I'm in America, if you couldn't tell by my Valley Girl accent, at least here in America, we have the time off most of the time for around Christmas, awkward time between Christmas and New Year's. We usually have that off, usually like the week. But in Japan, it's the same, except for different reasons. So it's kind of cool. All right, I'll read some more of these comments. Let's see. Jeba Donatari says, "Hey, sneaking on during work." Ooh, mischievous. NJPW says, "I hear Japanese people go to KFC on Christmas." Yeah, that's kind of like their thing. Let's see. Hide Secret says, "This sounds like a perfect Christmas." Honestly, it was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. There's another little cultural point that I want to bring up about like ceremonious foods that are eaten. I think you guys might have a hint. And it is a dessert, and they love it. They love it in Japan. My goodness. The Corner Demon says, "Hiya, hiya." And Kamitoru says, "Hello, do you have a permanent residency in Japan, or are you just there studying?" So I'm not currently in Japan, but when I was in Japan, I had a instructor's visa, which was good for 3 years. And that was handled by the JET program. They provided it for me. And yeah, I used my instructor's visa. See, continuing on. "You still work as a teacher?" And hi, LOL. No, I'm not a teacher anymore. I don't work as a teacher. I did, and it was fun, and I highly recommend it. For those of you who are interested, I do like private counseling sessions if you have a question about like a very personal question that's a little in depth and requires more mental capacity than just like a short conversation. Then I would just like email me that you'd like a private consultation, because some of those like really like deep questions, like I would like to have some time to really like chew on those with you, as opposed to just being like, I don't know, you know. I don't know if that answers your question. Just because someone messaged me earlier this week about one of these like really, really like life-altering like life decisions, and I don't mind helping out, but I think that requires more than just an email. But anyways, we won't get too distracted by that. Let's get back on topic. Christmas traditions in Japan. So the next tradition that I'm going to talk about is Christmas cake. Christmas cake. I know we have like fruit cake in Western nations. I don't know if that's just America, but we have like the whole tradition of Christmas cake in the West, but it's not the same in Japan. In Japan, they have like pseudo wedding cakes for, and these are eaten on Christmas Eve. They're usually sponge cakes. And they're decorated with chocolate, whipped cream, usually strawberries, probably because they're red and it goes with the whole like aesthetic of Christmas, and like little like Santa figurines. So there's also a story behind this. So, you know, back in World War II, we were battling with Japan, the Axis powers and the Allies fighting. Japan lost. And they were kind of like left in shambles, more or less. And sweets were seen as like this like huge luxury, but they saw how the Americans were kind of treating Christmas as like this big like holiday where you kind of like go all out and you just like enjoy the company of others while enjoying like elaborate things, because we do have that culture of like big like festive family like feasts and things like that. And they saw the Christmas cakes, and some people would partake, some couldn't afford it, but some would. And they also, of course, adopted Santa and the whole like Christmas decor culture from that as well. But that whole like Christmas cake, I don't know why they were so obsessed with the cake, but they really liked that part of like the Christmas feast. So that became synonymous with Christmas. And as Japan started to recover from the war, there became like a greater and greater amount of people that were able to afford that Christmas cake. And in the game, people buy their Christmas cakes early. You order them early because they're so popular. But if you go to Tokyo, on any given street corner, there's probably a vendor selling Christmas cakes. And even when I lived in Takasaki, I would walk through the train station and there would like there's a little supermarket in the train station that would sell like little Christmas cakes. And they're usually like one tier. They're usually round. They're not really square. And yeah, I want to say that they're like $20 to $100 depending on where you buy it from and how big it is, because there are different sizes. But yeah, so that's what I learned about the Christmas cakes. And yeah, one thing that is really similar from America and Japan is the decor. The decor, like people love to decorate. If you go to Daiso, which is the 100 yen store, people, you can see that people buy the like wreaths and Santa hats and like reindeer themed decor. It's very, very popular as well. So the decor is definitely something that they took from us as well. If you go to malls, you go to parks. One thing that I really like about Japan is that in like certain parks, they'll decorate everything with lights and they'll call it illuminations. So you'll have like huge parks with tons of trees and like every tree is decorated with lights. And I went to one of them at this mountain called Mount Haruna in Takasaki. And it was beautiful. Like it was insane. Like it was crazy. Like you ever see something that's just so intricate and you think, how much time did that take? Like how long, how much manpower, like how many people did it take to make this happen? Because it was so amazing. And I don't think I did a video on it. Darn it. Actually, I just had a flashback. I did record that video, How to Not Illumination, but I didn't have enough content, so I just didn't post it. I wish I did though. I'm gonna have to go look into my files and see if I can find something because it's so pretty. It's so pretty. And I really want to share that with you guys. But if you can, I'm sure there's other videos on YouTube about it. So if you go to like, if you just search like a big city and then illuminations, you could probably see it. Like a big city in Japan and then illuminations. That's one of the things that they do. And super, super cool, honestly. I wish we had something like that. But yeah. So that's basically everything I had to share about Christmas in Japan. Now, this video is going to transition into a Q&A. So if you have any questions of any kind, feel free to post them below. I'm going to try and stay until 30. So I'm going to stay for another 12 minutes or so. So yeah, you guys just let me know if you have any questions and I will get to those. I'm going to sip more of my juice and we'll read some more of these comments. But for those of you who are planning on leaving and doing whatever, thank you for tuning in. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I saw that 16 of you already have, so thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, you guys, I am so excited for this new channel. Can I just say that right now? Like, I am so excited for this new channel. Like I said before, I already have the videos recorded, and it's gonna be good, you guys. It's gonna be really good. And there's just so much content that I could put out based on that. It has made me do a little more research on geisha, but yeah, it's totally relevant. It's totally relevant to anyone living anywhere. And yeah, there is a connection to Japan, vaguely, but it does surround things that can be used by anyone, anywhere. So I'm excited to share that with you guys. I'm so excited. But yeah, you guys will see that soon. Just a reminder, the link will be below after this video is done. So please subscribe to my new channel and you guys will see some of that stuff coming alive before your eyes. I love the color of the sweater. Okay. Let's see. Natalie says, oh yeah, it's a Christmas cake. Yes, Christmas cakes. I haven't even tried one before, which is probably, it's one of the regrets I have. I wish I had actually I would have purchased a Christmas cake just to see what all the hype was about, but it's just a sponge cake. So if you've tasted a sponge cake, you've tasted a Christmas cake. Baby girl Juliet says, baby girl Janet says, rock fruit cake we got. Yeah, we got fruitcake. I tried fruitcake. Fruitcake is, I see why people don't really like it. Hmm. Let's go further down. Are things expensive in Japan? Says Sasha. Are things expensive? Things are expensive in the city, but they're not expensive in the country. There are certain things that are cheap and certain things that are expensive. One thing that I noticed that's especially pricey in Japan is the produce. So vegetables and fruits, those tend to be really pricey. I think it's more so because, here in America, we have lots of land. Agriculture is really big for us, and we have like certain populations of minority groups that we kind of exploit for the purpose of getting cheap labor, but we won't get into that. This is not a political channel. But for those reasons, yeah, Japan has like comparatively more expensive produce. But as far as like overall, like I don't think rent is particularly expensive. I don't think that like toiletries or other things like entertainment is particularly expensive. I think that it's pretty reasonable. Yeah. See. Continuing on. Ellie says, my sister is wanting to move to LA to model. You and she should network. I'm not in LA though. Oh no. Um man, yeah, I'm not in LA. I'm in San Francisco. My home is San Francisco. So I'm here. I do my little talent gigs here in the Bay. But yeah, it would be nice though. I'd love to meet different people in the business. Let's see. Baby girl Janet says, I really want to Japan, but I don't want to through anything with school because honestly I despise it because I'm not planning on living in Japan, but just maybe stay for a few months or a year to see. Well, in that case, I would say look into having an internship, getting an internship somewhere, or maybe going to an English university or a Western university in Japan, like Sophia, for example. They have certain courses that you can enroll in. For short amounts of time. I want to say for like just a semester or so. And you can stay in Japan that way, and you'll be like right in the middle of a big city. So you'll be able to leave the university at will and then come back to like the comfort of other English speakers if you want that. If you do want to go to Japan, for people who want to work professionally, you do need to speak like really good Japanese, like N2. And I'm N3, so I'm one level below that. And it takes some dedication, but I feel like your best bet is probably getting an internship for an English organization or enrolling in some kind of course. But yeah, sorry, the light's kind of harsh now. This light's kind of annoying. Oh, this window's open too. That's okay, we're almost done. We got 7 minutes, so you guys post your questions because I want to end this like right on the money. So if you can, then try. Let's see. Let's see, Lavetta says, greetings. Baby girl Jenna says, how Japan is, because I can't deal with America. Japan, it depends on what you don't like about America that you're hoping Japan will have. I think there's pros and cons to both. Like, Japan is definitely really safe, and things are made like easy for you as far as like going about your daily life, going to buy things, going to from point A to point B. I feel like they make that really easy and straightforward in Japan as opposed to like America where you need to have a car, you need to have other kinds of things like that. Japan makes things really simple that way, but in America, there's definitely like the comfort aspect of being with people that like you understand, like certain mannerisms. Oh, the language is a huge part because people don't speak English like that. And I feel like people are surprised when they go to Japan and they're like, nobody spoke English. I'm like, surprise! No one speaks English here. So that's a big obstacle for a lot of people. Another one is like certain like kinds of body language, because there were times where I thought people were mad at me when they weren't mad at me. It's just that translates to something different in Japanese culture. And there are like certain things like that if you don't prepare for them, that'll get to you really fast. So yeah, I mean, it's good and bad for different reasons. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, but I think that's one that you have to do some like soul searching, like sit by a lake and just think to like decide if you want to move there. But I mean, I enjoyed it while I was there. Unfortunately, I didn't have like very much longer. I couldn't continue the way I was living there, so I came back. But I feel like as far as, I don't know, just like moving there to see, like for a year, like I'd advocate for that 7 times, 7 times a week, honestly. Let's see. Do you believe that Japan is a romantic country? Romantic? 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 That's so vague. That's so vague. I don't know. Like I feel like compared to America, I'd say that they're about the same. They're about the same. Um, yeah, like romantic ideals exist in Japan, but they're not as, the men aren't as like gung ho and like pursuing of women as, like they're not as bold as American men are. But with the whole like age of Me Too in America, it makes a lot of men a lot less masculine, and they've kind of like pulled back from women as far as like romantic like endeavors go, is what I've noticed. And in Japan is a lot more traditional, so like men being the pursuer is like the status quo. So yeah, like I'd say they're about the same when you weigh everything and even it out. They're about the same. So yeah, yay Northern California. That's okay. I feel like maybe, I don't know. Do I give an LA vibe? I'm San Francisco. I'm Northern California. I was, well, I wasn't born in San Francisco, but the greater San Francisco Bay Area is like my stomping grounds. Um, let's see. Is there a realizable way to contact you if you have questions about Japan? Do you prefer the comments or email? Well, I can answer certain like very vague comments, like very general, like kind of small comments that you just want to get like kind of out of the way, like you just don't know and you just want someone else's opinion on it. Then I can answer those like in the comments. But if it's something that is a little more serious, something that has lots of layers to it, and that there is no like how should I explain? Like just like a difficult question that's kind of tricky and requires a lot more consideration, then I'd say email is best. But I do paid consultations as well. Yes. So if you want to do something that's like really, really in depth that you're like really, stuck on, then I can help that way. Yeah. Okay. So we got 3 minutes, 2 minutes on the clock. Let's see. Miriti Shaolu says, Chocolate Geisha, I love your videos. Thank you. And Hiraldia says, Aloha. Aloha. I know aloha means hello and goodbye, so I'm going to say aloha. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please like it. And my new channel is going to be posted in the link below. And my Patreon will be posted in the link below. And thank you guys for coming on such short notice. I hope that you guys learned a little bit about Christmas in Japan. And I hope that maybe you guys can share some of this knowledge with your friends and show how smart you all are. But thank you guys again for tuning into this video. I really do love this channel too. I do, I really do. And as much as my life has changed like in the last few months, I want to keep this channel going strong. And yeah, you guys are a big part of that. So thank you for coming. Like really, like thank you for coming. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. You guys take care. And I'll see you later. Enjoy the holidays. Bye. Bye, you guys.